this now, and it's working. And isn't it just a delight? Isn't that just wonderful? Oh my gosh, it goes so high. It's we also have, of course. It just sounds like I'm killing something. Just absolutely murdering it. We now play DS1 using it. Gosh, that'd be hard. So I didn't know, but this is not an octave. I thought this was an octave. It is like an octave. No, it's 2 octaves plus a like a whole tone, I think. I don't know what it is above that, but like let's not use that range. So there's the octave, and then you have this much left, and that's another octave. I think right about there, and then you still got a little more. It's pretty awful. It's really hard to play. I haven't like sat down and really tried to play it. You can do this though, which I'm not like, I'm not doing that. It's like I'm bending this and sort of breaking it, and then it does. I don't know why it does that. But yes, a friend saw this and bought this for me, and I thought it was literally the best thing you could have got me, because not only is it a musical instrument, which is debatable, but it's also a Kirby, so it's pretty great. So I gotta at least learn how to play something. But yeah, enough of that. Welcome to the... Oh, right. Welcome to the stream. The art today is from Desadaptado from the Trumpet Run. A very... now he's gonna make like a shitty edit and put like the automaton there instead. But wonderful art. And yeah, thank you for the art. It's fantastic. I honestly, if I ever do make a video of that run, I might use that as the wall or the thumbnail because it's absurdly good.
We eat when hungry, and we sleep when tired of eating.
The screams of that Kirby are haunting.
I know. Like, it's like, I haven't listened to much automaton playing, but man, does it sound like you're just killing an animal. It's just awful. It's in so many ways. But yeah, thank you for the donation. So I decided to do, am I blurry? I decided to do this because the event, I'm getting nervous. It's actually, I was like, maybe I'm doing it too early. I still got time. I actually am not going to be able to stream again next Thursday because I have a performance. And then there's like a Friday where I'm gone. And then I'm going to be gone Thursday and Friday. All of a sudden, my schedule got booked. I have a meeting with Baylor University on a publication I'm writing on Monday. I have 2 job interviews on Tuesday, another one on Wednesday. I have some other meeting on Wednesday. And then, man, I got a performance coming up. I have a performance coming up with one group and then another performance the next week. And it's like, there is so much going on all of a sudden. And I just realized today when I was putting my calendar together. So, Nier Automaton run, that's a good one. But I decided to do this event. I don't know anything about the event. I actually got 0 spoilers. Like, I got spoilers for the Kanto, which was sad. but I have zero spoilers for this one. I heard it was really good. But of course, nope, wrong one. Gosh, the graphics on here are so much better than mobile. I mean, you know, it's obviously, but I just never play on here. Of course, we're gonna run this. I haven't ran this since the last stream. No 3-star. Fuck! Gosh, dang it! I hate this fucking game! Alright, so that's been the stream. I'll see you guys all later. I hope you have a great night, and fuck this game. I was gonna try and like turn shit off, but I don't think I can like turn my whole stream black. Oh, fuck! Alright. Gosh dang it. Like, it wasn't until I started streaming that I never got anything. Gah! Alright, whatever. Yeah, I have actually been not been playing this game that much, because I realized it was taking up too much of my headspace. So basically all I do now is sometimes I now skip the thread battles, and then I do a hard mirror dungeon, and that's all I've gone down to. I'm holding off line 4 until I beat. I think I'm like in my trumpet head because I keep yelling. Let me know if the volume's weird or anything, because I realized I didn't write down the settings. Did you get funny reality killer Heathcliff? No, I didn't get fucking anything. I'm gonna save line 4 for as long as possible, although I did the first part.
And we sleep when tired of eating.
Is this the one where Hercule Poirot figures out all the passengers work together to murder Samuel Ratchet?
I have no idea what you're talking about, but no, this is gonna be... I don't know. I don't know how bad the warp train's gonna be, considering... Fucking, you never go here, so I can't remember. Do I have to go through that? I don't think I ever went through that mini siren. I don't know how much we're actually gonna be in the warp train horrors, considering that... I don't know. I feel like you wouldn't know about the horrors unless you see the horrors, you know? Like, so I don't know how the horrors are actually gonna happen, but... Save for Walpurgis then? Yeah, I know. I just felt like since I streamed, I had to do that. But after last time's Walpurgis, I was like, oh, I didn't get anything and I can't do this event. So now I'm like, yes, I'm all in on Walpurgis Nox. Because the first one I did, I got everything in my first poll. All right, we should be good to go. What's the gameplay beyond gacha mechanics? You'll see it in maybe 20 minutes, depending on... This game's a lot of reading. If you want the rundown, the reason I play this game is not for the gameplay. Only about 5%. Well, people like it more than me, but I only enjoy about 5% of this game's gameplay. I'm only in it because I'm insane about the lore, which started in the first game, which is the most fun. The first game's the most fun. And I think gameplay-wise, Library's more fun than this one. The second one, but yeah. Not gonna lie, this Intervallo is better than Kanto 2. That is not high praise. Steampunk lore? No, this is like dystopian future lore, sort of. All right, how did this happen? Also, if you didn't know, I don't think there's any voice acting in this one, which always sucks. Well, no, it's an Intervallo. It might. Wait. Hold on. Maybe. No, Neko, stop! Fuck off! First, we boarded the warp train to get to our next destination, P-Corp. Got into our fancy first class flash freeze hibernation capsules. Oh, so they got first class. That's good. And we were supposed to arrive at P-Corp after a quick blink of an eye, but... Dante! Dante! No voice acting. Dante! Please respond. There's... Oh, wow. Thanks, Neko. Thanks, Neko.
We eat when hungry, and we sleep when tired of eating.
Gotcha allowance.
Ah! No! I'll do it after this. I'm not gonna put it into my account, though. I mean, I will put it into my account, but not on stream, because that is weird. Nah, intervals are not getting voice work anymore. Only the Cantos get voiceovers. I thought the chicken one did. Oh, since the whole delay incident? Fuck! Ah, but the voiceovers make it so much better. The first thing I saw when my vision returned was the perplexed look on Faust, who had entered a hibernation at the same time as I did. So we have enough money to get... I thought first class warp train tickets were like absurdly expensive, but we have enough money for that? I thought like we didn't have a big budget. Sorry, I did that right into the mic. Then I realized that we woke up mid-transit on the warp train. Which could only mean that we're now stranded in some lost, unknown dimension. I'm assuming he's pulling from his knowledge of the identities in the other mirror worlds. Because how else would they all be freaked out when they heard they were going on the warp train? Dante! I understand your considerable degree of disorientation, but... What? What the hell happened? First things first, let's rewind and return to the very start of this highly unfavorable situation we find ourselves in. Is this supposed to be like Agatha Christie? I've read like one of her novels when I was a kid. A few days ago. Our destination is to a warp train, Dante. What? Yep, that's where it all started. There I was, still perplexed by the incidents at T-Corp, with my awful idea of clearing the air by asking Virgilius for our next destination, not knowing that the storm that my innocent question would bring. Done! Verily, I must have misheard? I'm quite certain you didn't, Quixote. We are now in... I don't want to do Virgilius's voice because it's a lot. We're now en route to the T-Corp warp train station. That warp train station must have some conundrum that must be resolved there, indeed. a quest that must swiftly be addressed at the station, yes. She knows. Andy, do you know how warp train works? Yeah, I got that far in library, so I do. Well... I don't know. I don't know how much I know, but I think I know most. 90 minutes ago, you beat Orphan of Kos for the first time ever. How was it, Mig? That used to be one of my favorite bosses until I destroyed it for myself. It's based on Agatha Christie books, but not mostly about it. Got it. Why don't you don some drip that isn't trash, Quixote? That's her whole thing. She's supposed to look like a fucking Comic-Con goer with all her damn badges. Yeah, I know Lovetown. Yeah. Did a distortion pop up at one of the warp platforms or something? I see that you are now significantly less disinclined to take on some side jobs, but no. I wonder if he knows about the warp trains.
We eat when hungry, and we sleep when tired of eating.
Hey Andy, I found you through the Backlogs One-Shot Challenge. I'm currently going through your All Gale streams and I hope to catch your future Dude Souls streams. Keep up the great work.
Those are good streams, but I'm very different from that person. See, that's like, the streams at Gale are good, but then, like a lot of the ones before that, it's like, not only am I a different person, I don't think the streams are that good. But thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, a lot of people are coming over from the one-shot run. Thank you, I appreciate it. Watch the ring run for 3.0 debut, Andy. By the way, why is Orphan ruined for you? Before I started this channel, I did a no armor run, and I believe I fought Orphan 143 times before I beat him, and after that I fucking hated him. I don't remember I know I made a compilation of like every death in that run. I don't know if that video still exists somewhere on my drives, but it only had like the deaths. And I remember I don't remember it being that hard, but I remember Lawrence was a lot of deaths, but then I do remember, I don't know if it was 141, 143, or 144. It wasn't 142 though. I want whatever the first number I said is probably what it is, and that was the most deaths in the run. Literally not skilled enough to enjoy Orphan. I probably was not as skilled as I could be this time. But then when I fought Orphan in my Hunter Tools only run, I still fucking hated him. He used to be one of my favorites. I still like Maria. We are boarding the warp train to get to P-Corp. End of story. There's nothing between the lines, so don't try reading into it. The sinners, ellipses. It was only natural that the sinners immediately fell into a state of collective, dumbfounded shock. None of the sinners have any history of working at W Corp, but we're actually taking that train. Through that vague information we could gather from the identities. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. We all had some fragmentary knowledge about the terrible secrets of the warp train's operations. I initially considered hiding this information from the rest of the sinners, but since sharing things with everyone and letting them get their 2 cents in usually ended up being pretty helpful, I've been sharing more of these as of late. Though I have a very dim, if present at all, recollections from the time during which I wear the identities, I don't think I have his. Yeah, Orphan is a tough boss. Which came first, 100 Gale Andy or 100 Hop Up? 100 Gale did. Or sorry, which came first, 100 Hop Up? That was one of the first streams ever. Those, I would not watch those streams. I wouldn't. Those are rough. I wouldn't watch. I don't know when I would say you can start watching my streams, but I wouldn't watch those ones. Can be determined from the conversational records between the manager and the identities that the mechanisms behind Warp Train's operations can be deemed as somewhat bizarre and inefficient. Oh yeah, it's that 10-second trip that actually takes a long time, right? And when the train reaches the destination, they just wipe the passengers' memories. I also heard that the passengers get so tired and weary that they start literally ripping and tearing into one another. Yep. Sounds like, oh, I think, do I have her identity? I think I do. Sounds like I might finally have a chance to see a masterpiece with my own eyes. Yeah, that does sound like something she'd want to see. TikTok. Even when the sinners wear the identities through my identity cards, the identities' memories or beliefs don't bleed into them once it's over and done with. I always wondered that. I remember when Faust explained that due to the risks associated with embracing such influences, there was a filtering process to intentionally block them from reaching the sinners, kind of like dreams. That's why the sinners could use the identities of some of our worst enemies without getting infected by their philosophies and whatnot. But it also meant that they couldn't retain any new information that each identity had to offer. That's why I keep a record of some things that sound particularly important and sometimes share it with the rest of the sinners. Maria, Sekiro Girl, Frida, Melania of Mikola, that carrying from the Royal DLC. Oh, you're just... Bloodborne was when they realized they could make the S-tier man and armor boss a waifu and everyone would accept it. I mean, Maria is a pretty fun fight. Orphan legit gave me ear damage with its loud-ass screeching. Is Bloodborne harder than the Souls trilogy? Yes, I would say so, I think. Generally. The hardest game From's put out that I've played is Sekiro, though. Sekiro is definitely the hardest. Because it's the only game that I can't just play and be good at. Sekiro, I actually have to, like, warm up and, like, remember and practice that game. That game is hard. I mean, but I also don't play with a lot of the gimmicks you can use. Yep. My voice doesn't really carry well past the window, so most of our communications are one-sided, but... What? What? I don't even know what he's talking about. What window? I had an abundance of W Corp, Corp, yes, identities, so it wasn't difficult to piece together the truth behind the trains. But, maybe ignorance really is bliss. Have you gotten the new identity yet? I haven't gotten fucking anything. Since last stream, I got nothing. Your alarmed response and possible incompliance has already been accounted for. Lady Faust? Then thou hast known this all along. Wherefore hast thou not died? Fuck, oh my gosh. Wherefore hast thou not deigned to tell me of this? Is that how you say that word? Fuck, oh my gosh, that was intense. Faust has indeed known this all along, as no knowledge is out of Faust's reach. As expected, a solution to your dilemma has already been prepared. What is this K-pop soap opera? Why isn't Andy playing the game of the year? Monkey hit God with pole. It seemed, I mean, I guess I have to look into it. It's getting pretty big. I seriously doubt your solution involves not getting on the train. So what is it? The bus. Oh, what about this bus? There's no way this thing fits inside a train car. That's a good point. Sharon, Karen, I forgot how to say her name. Karen vetoes too. No one to feed Mephi when Karen's gone. Might be Sharon. Sharon. I don't remember how you say the original guy's name either. Miss Faust. The rearmost tail cars of warp trains are all freight cars. That is where Mephistopheles, whatever, will be safely fastened and transported. Ow. And the LCB will have the benefit of boarding as first-class passengers. The bus begins to swell with noise again, though in a slightly different air to the alarmed response from earlier. First-class passengers? What, the seats for those pompous toffs? Remember! Even on normal trains, you've got those sods whose proudest accomplishments in life is planting their arses in first-class seats, while others are cramming themselves in freight cars because they haven't the cash for even an economy ticket. Hey, don't look at me. I've never been in one of those first-class seats before either. You know, I've grown to fucking hate Sinclair. He's just such a wimpy bitch, and that's his entire role in this story. To be a scared little bitch, and I do not give a shit anymore. The fuck out of here. What's up, Amor? Jealousy is an ugly emotion, Heathcliff. Isn't the ticket for a single first-class seat like as expensive as 3-4 months' salary of a first-year wing employee? Can our budget really handle getting a ticket for all of us? Okay, that's what I thought. I knew it wasn't like insanely expensive, but I thought it was pretty expensive. The company's budget is not a subject that warrants your concern. Fuck off, Faust. I heard first-class passengers get some cool bonus stuff like personalized private capsules or something, don't they? That is the promotional language, yes. They are flash freeze hibernation capsules, to be precise. They have been designed to easily withstand the true amount of time it takes for the warp train to travel from point A to point B. The trip will be over in a blink of an eye for the passengers. The company's regard for our well-being is unfamiliar yet welcome. To be provided such extravagance merely for our comfort. Such occurrence is quite seldom. Small smile. Right? I honestly thought they were going to slip just the guide and Sharon into the first class seats and ship the rest of us in the economy cars. It would have been endless mirror dungeon grinding for 10,000 years. Dante finally gets rid of the sinners by locking them in time capsules. That's where you want to be. This seems like an unnecessary luxury. They should have saved their budget and given only the executive manager and their loyal advisor access to those seats. Shut the fuck up! Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're taking the train to get to our next mission, right? All right. We have to think about the unique nature of warp trains and prepare ourselves accordingly. Right? I know it's first class and all, but warp trains are just plain creepy. I knew you'd also be worried about. For example, economy passengers are going to have a hard time getting into a first class car. If they can even attempt to open it, I mean. I'm pretty sure the door separating the cars is ironclad. Yeah, I came to that conclusion a minute ago. Ishmael, who'd been holding the first class promotional pamphlet. The typical pamphlet Ishmael joke. Was chattering on with fire in her eyes. Fuck! We won't even have to lift a finger. We just have to board the train, get into our capsule, shut our eyes, and snooze through the entire ride until all that mess in the other cars blows over. I heard they used to give out commemorative merch back when their finances weren't in the gutter, and... Oh. A true adventure is not without its hardships. Yet, even the most exalted of heroes cannot venture without respite. And I don't know how to do that. And in very rare occasions, the hero may even deign to select a first-class seat to rest in, a place of a quaint inn. Indeed, indeed. Holy shit, Ishmael. Calm down. Less socio-economic commentary, more solving the problem. We haven't even gotten to the problem yet. Seems like everyone was at least somewhat interested in the fabled first-class seats of the warp trains. I could sense that there was a growing consensus among the sinners that even a warp train trip might be acceptable if it meant they can ride in first-class seats. I will board the train if I must. Is first-class seating mandatory? I prefer the scenic route. Don't want to miss out on all the fun. Virgilius pretended not to hear Roshi's question. Very well, then I assume we are all in agreement. Get off the fucking bus. I have a matter of great import to discuss with thee. Dawn time. What is it? Out with it, lass. Beating around the bush ain't like you. Don Quixote carefully began, almost whispering in a low voice. That is, in the first-class seats. I heard tell that we must board with our feet freed from our boots. Doth that claim hold water? Oh, come on now. What kind of nonsense gossip is this coming from this time? Bouncy Dawn. 'Tis no gossip, forsooth! I have heard aught from those we have walked past here today, and when one of them inquired, you know that we gotta go barefoot in first class, right? The other responded with, of course, man. What am I, stupid? I wish they'd voice acted that. That would have been great. Doth the traveler speak true, Ishmael? Don't ask me. I've never been on one of these either. But the pamphlets! I don't remember seeing anything like that on the pamphlet. Give me a second. I mustn't be separated from Roshinante, not even for a twinkle. I shan't toss Roshinante to the side, next to such vulgarities like the ugly shoes of Sir Heathcliff. Holy shit. Boy, you little... I implore thee, O lustrous red gaze, prithee, grant me thy permission to allow me to board with Roshinante! I expected Virgilius to answer with his usual exasperated rebuff. Contrary to my expectations, however, he responded in a somewhat serious tone, if tainted by that familiar annoyance. Fine. Keep your shoes on. Oh, I don't know how I feel about the way you said that. Roshinante! J Fox is like, when do I get to see how this game fucking works? We got another chapter to read it. This place is huge. Oh, right, we're still in T-Corp. Everything's sepia. That was my first impression of the warp train station. So, oh-ho! So this is... Don Quixote shouted vibrantly, immediately recovered from her previous apprehension of the sheer possibility that she might be separated from Roshinante. Roshinante. I feel like I'm missing some subtlety with the pronunciation. So each nest has one of these massive structures in them. I've got nothing. Oi, know anything about what they're asking? Heathcliff asked, gesturing toward Mersault with his chin. Every warp train station has been built with a general design philosophy that draws from their respective nest architectural idiosyncrasies. I don't think I actually really know what that word means, and I don't think I've ever said it out loud. It's kind of like quirks, right? It can also be said that many critics in relevant fields praise the warp train stations as one of the many cultural cornerstones of the city. I have no idea when it happened, but Heathcliff's starting to treat Mersault like a walking encyclopedia from time to time. Isn't that Faust's job? Mersault. Young Mersault. Young? Lo, isn't he older than her? Or are they... I actually forgot. They might be the same age, right? Lo, is that passenger over yonder one from the west? Incorrect. Leather-based clothing and metal armor are predominant fashion trends often visible in the outfits of the Western population. While that individual's cloth-based style is something ubiquitously observed throughout the population of North and South, they are largely considered to be an Eastern fashion trend, rarely seen among Western. Prithee, slow thyself, for I must make a record of thy lectures. Wow, she's really excited right now. Don Quixote, the hag in disguise. No. Lol, is that a weeb? You mean this guy they're talking about? What wisdom dost thou have to impart regarding the fashion of the northern region? I have once espied in a magazine that they are garbed in puffy, loose-fitting outfits, understandably so, given the colder climate of the region. An opportunity of a first-hand observation stands before you. I love that line. I need to use that one. That's like, don't ask me, just fucking look, you moron. An opportunity for a first-hand observation stands before you. Ah! Ah! 3 seconds of screaming duet. One of utter fascination, the other of unmitigated frustration. What the shit? You nearly blew out my eardrums. Fixer from the north. You're the one to talk. What What the fuck is this? These big booms. Dude, I've got an audible frequency range expansion implant in my eardrums. Holy shit, man. This, I've never heard, we have not had a character who speaks like this. Now get the hell out of my way. You're blocking the walkway like a ragtag band of hicks who's never seen a warp train before. Damn it, I take the train all the way here for an expedition only to lose my target, and now these assholes are trying to blow out my eardrums. Great, just great. I love this. I like this guy. He's like me. He's just me. Guys, is that obvious? Is it that obvious we've never been on a warp train before? You guys have your shoes on. You know you have to be barefoot. Why are you wearing shoes? Ain't you never been on a warp train before? The round trip ticket fee came straight out of my damn pocket. And the round trip. Whoa, watch out, big fella. Someone might seriously get hurt if you keep swinging those 4 arms around, each holding a weapon to boot. Prithee, wilt thou stand still for but a moment to satisfy a few inquiries of mine regarding thy outfit? Oh, yes, yes. Stand in absolute stillness for 5 minutes, and I... Seriously? The fixer with a particularly... Ugh. This is when I write scripts for my videos, and I know you're going to be like, well, then why would you put the word in? This is probably one of the most difficult words in my entire speaking career to say. This word is brutal. Particularly, it's like this area that's insane. Impressive set of prosthetic arms. Spent a few minutes venting several of his numerous grievances at us before storming off to a different platform. Ah, indeed. 'Tis grand, the city of sundry odd personalities. I'm pretty sure he was thinking the same thing. I guess there really are a lot of people in the city with full body prosthetics. Careful, Sinclair, your racism is leaking through. What is there even a word for? Oh, ableism. But it's not really ableism in this. Well, not for the ultra wealthy. I don't think there's a real word for this. Just anti-prostheticism. Well, why would you put that particular word in your script? Particular is not a hard word. It's particularly. That's the hard word. That's when Virgilius slowly walked up to our group. Well then, let's rendezvous at the destination. Huh? Wilt the illustrious Red Gaze not ride alongside us? W Corp policy demands that fixers bestowed with a color title must board a train specially prepared for them instead. Did they just write that in so that did they just add that so he didn't have, so they could separate him? That definitely. Hi, ad right now. I don't know how long that ad's gonna last. Oh, are you like riding the first class plus or something? That's a color fixer for you, I guess. Special treatment from the wings no matter where he goes. Hey, cool dog. I hope the ad wasn't terrible. Sharon wants to go back to Mephi. Mephi will be lonely. I've told you, Sharon, 3 separate times, actually, each time I brought you one of those candies, that people aren't allowed aboard the freight cars. Then, Miss Faust. I wonder if the whole train has to undergo the dilation, I assume, so that'd include the freight cars. Then, Miss Faust? Yes. Virgilius, after exchanging a knowing look and a nod from Faust, escorted the particularly peeved Sharon away. Dante. Let us proceed this way. We followed Faust's guidance to the entrance of our train car. Whoops. Damn! Whoa. Hey, our colors are starting to come back. Oh. Hey, these must be the fabled complimentary food and drink of the first class seats. Heck yeah, of course. Quality stuff like these gotta be included with that insane pricing. the ad had a better story. Shut up. What's up, Volpato? The color thing was actually partially addressed in key page stories of Arena. Wow, they planned. The general response to this room was a surprise at the rows upon rows of expensive-looking, sizable capsules. Flash freeze hibernation, huh? I guess it literally freezes our bodies in a flash. Faust, are these flash freeze hibernation devices safe? Please elaborate on your exact definition of safe. Well, that's already a bad sign. These things are supposed to freeze us solid, right? Can we really come back from something like that? A flash freeze hibernation device will put you in a temporary state of death caused by rapid cellular cryopreservation process. By rapid... They're using that as a verb, I guess. That's weird. However, the rapidity of the process prevents damage to your cells during the phase change. Therefore, in most cases, this will not cause any issues. Faust is aware that this model has fully resolved cell membrane breaching issues by cryogenic density change or by ice crystal growths of hydrogen molecules. Yeah. I missed about half of what you said. But your point is that it's safe, right? That wasn't that complicated. If I recall correctly, a color fixer trained the passengers in the train, which caused a lot of trouble for W Corp cleanup agents, which is why colors get their own thing. Training them into super soldiers. That's kind of insane. Passengers then slaughtered the cleanup crew and they had to call R-Corp. Does that mean they stayed in the train for... How long is it? 10,000 years? I can't remember how many years it's in the warp train. I assume it's always basically the same amount of time. That's kind of fucking insane. What is this game about? Dystopian nightmare and terrible things happen everywhere. The background lore to this setting right here, the specific setting, is we are on a train that proclaims to go places in 10 seconds, but it actually takes like 10,000 years. But we're in first class, so we get to sleep through it through these capsules. It's Murder on the Orient Express. Yeah. But the overarching plot of this game is you lead 12 morons around, and they each have their own literary... They're all based in literary classics. So there's like Moby Dick, Metamorphosis, Don Quixote, all of that. Is this the gacha Andy spends the donations on? Don't make it sound like that. Neko is the one that says this is gacha money. Wuthering Heights, yeah. Yes, as far as Faust is aware, even if an issue were to arise during the journey, because everyone will be reverted to their states at the beginning of the train trip upon travel, there won't be any lasting complications from the said problem. It's about a bus full of morons, each with a different set of mental illnesses. Yeah, basically. It's like the top review on like the App Store is, that's how they describe it. You lead around 12 morons of like, that is, yes, that's exactly what this fucking game is. They're all fucking idiots. You've got some real talent in dragging out something so simple as yet safe to so many words. Seriously. Indeed, as Faust's talents are not limited to a singular field. Are they hitting on each other? What's going on? But there are idiots, that's right. Okay, but that still leaves a lot to be worried about. Just as I was wondering However, I realized that there was something odd about the way she phrased that answer. As far as Faust is aware, you saying it could be wrong? As a general rule, Faust does not err. However, Faust is not a divine being. There are certain information in the world that Faust is yet to have access to. Therefore, while Faust may speak the facts, what is said may not always align with the truth. Okay. They don't call it first class for nothing, I guess. P-Corp's way up there in the northeastern corner of the northernmost corner of the city. But this thing will take us there in a blink of an eye, huh? That's one hell of a time saver. I don't really know if I remember anything about P-Corp. Hoo-ha, 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 hoo-ha! Prepare thyself, Roshinante! Thus begins the long jaunt. Oh, I've been meaning to ask Don Quixote. Do you, ever, you know, wash those shoes? Where'd that come from, Rogia? No, I mean, like, think back to when we were inside that whale. When the whale blew up, we got all kinds of its gross, slimy bits on us. They were on our clothes, our shoes, everything. Oh, shit. Look at her. She's just, like, in a state of constant bliss. Yeah. Do you remember how much we had to scrub to get that bloody, fishy, fleshy gunk out of our clothes? This really isn't something I want to revisit, but yeah. Right? And do you also remember how Don Quixote never took off her shoes once during that whole ordeal? Okay, I guess they do look a bit filthy. I ask thee, dear compatriots, hast thou ever witnessed an errant knight who leaves the side of their most beloved steed? Can't say I've ever witnessed a knight before, though. Then thou shalt know, starting now. Behold, hearken to it, and remember it well. They don't spare us even a moment of quiet, do they? Whoa, have you been on one of these, Otis? What do you think of her drip shoes? They should have a big close-up of them. The money does not go to this. The only money I've ever spent on this is, well, the passes, the monthly passes, or the whatever they're called, because those are actually good. But I have never spent money on the gacha part of the game, except people who come into the stream and say, donate for the gacha, and then they donate money to gacha, and then it usually fucking fails. Battle pass. Yeah, battle pass is pretty worth it. I've been treated to premium VIP seats of similar grandiosity? Actually don't know which one it is. Back when. This is nothing to fuss over. Otis, who was sitting there and shaking her legs, suddenly asked Faust a question. Assuming she's like impatient and not like nervous. Hey, oh, maybe she is nervous. Hey, you're confident that no accidents ever occurred on one of these first-class cars, yes? In order to prevent cases of unnecessary anxiety and misgivings among the sinners, the history of accidents that have occurred on board the warp trains will not be shared. Wait, what the? Oh, I think we're leaving soon. This is warp train PW6112. Bound for P-Corp. Boarding period is ending soon. Spin Challenger Sisyphus. I will after I get out of this chapter. The Kanto is going to be released in October? Really? Shit, that means I have to do line 4. The sinners, who were either leisurely enjoying their complimentary snacks or taking a look around the first-class car, suddenly became a lot busier. Then, let us hurry and enter our capsules before it is too late. I mean, I assume they can enter them kind of whenever they want. Oh no, why isn't this? The other sinners made it into their capsules no problem, but I felt like I was the only one who's fumbling. Is it anxiety, Dante? I think so. Oh. Initiating warp in 10 minutes. Allow me to assist you. Stand as though you were leaning back and... Is that Dawn? Who is that? There's Hong Lu. That's Roshu. Can I What's the button for... Is it this one? Oh, I thought it was gonna remove some of the vignette. I think that's Otis. That kind of looks like that looks like you sing. Oh, that's Faust. I guess so. I guess the hair would be darker. Yeah, the pass just speeds up the free-to-play stuff. I saw the roadmap, but I didn't know it had dates. Praise the sun. Dawn is a sun bro. She has a coat. Faust expertly guided me into the capsule as though she'd done something like this before, then pressed the button inside the capsule that closed the hatch. Do not worry too much. We will meet again in but a moment. Dante. I thought I heard a brief sigh, but the hatch shut tightly before I could ask anything. Initiating warp. Please confirm that your seatbelts are firmly fastened. The last thing I saw before my capsule began to fill with gas was Faust climbing into her own capsule opposite of mine. I had no idea then what she really meant by "we will meet again in but a moment." Dante! Dante! You must wake up, Dante! But one thing I knew for sure was an inconceivable situation has occurred. That something had seriously gone wrong. Dante! Andy, what is this game? Is it? It looks like there's gameplay. Gameplay being I press one button and I win. Fine. Come on! Fuck, that's so bad! No! That was even worse than the last one! Holy shit, that was bad! Gosh dang it! I haven't gotten anything in so long! Fucking shit. Oh, nope, more reading. We'll just call this a visual, well, especially this one's a visual novel. We still haven't gotten to the actual gameplay, but this is what I expected. No! No! No more gacha! We're here already? Wow, I guess that's an I guess that was an exaggeration at all.
We eat when hungry, and we sleep when tired of eating.
Dude Souls is on.
Another 10 to the gacha fund.
Thank you, I guess. Wow, I guess that wasn't an exaggeration at all. It all really happened in the blink of an eye. As always, Faust was giving me her usual look, which was a complete lack of any emotive expression. Fucking typical. Might as well spin. Well, we gotta get through this now first. Thank you, Shuri Satoshi. Satoshi. This isn't streamer misfortune. I've never streamed in my life, and I lost all my Walpurgisnacht rolls. I literally, since the last time I streamed, I literally have not gotten anything. How many boxes do you have? I think I have like 40. Which I suppose is why it didn't immediately register that something had gone awry. No, we are not yet at our destination. Oh shit, sorry. Huh? When I finally came to, and after I had some time to digest that odd reply, I looked up at her face once again. And I realized that her expression was more angsty than usual by a microscopically minuscule degree. So this train is still running? Yes. Then where are we? I believe we are currently stranded in an unidentified dimension, coordinates unknown. I took a reflexive, deep breath from the sheer horror of the numerous implications stuffed into that dryly delivered sentence. When that passed, the first thing that struck my mind was that we were about to suffer the very thing that we were so worried about. It's Love Town time! I see. I soon found myself calming down. Yes, this had to be part of Faust's plan. She probably saw this coming from a mile away. Doubt. I'm sure she's about to proudly tell me every little detail of her plan that will help us out of this situation. But this is all just a part of the plan, right? Faust? See ya, Neko. Thanks for hanging. I won't lie, the clock guy's pretty cool. He's the most boring character in the entire thing. But that's who I am. That's who, it's the main character. But he's a stand-in for the player. Yeah, the name's Dante. Faust. Trust the plan. TM. That's funny because I didn't read that as trademark. I thought you were calling Dante Time Man. Love Town. It's Love Town time! That was an unusually long silence for Faust. You were half correct, yet half incorrect. With that, Faust left me to flounder in the chaotic stream of vaguely terrifying information as she began stopping by each capsule to awake the sinners. Oh? We're here already? Man, it really happened in a blink of a... No. Oh, yeah, I already saw this coming. Oh, what's this? We're here already? For real? It really happened in a blink of a... No. Yeah. Whoa, we're here already? I guess I really was worrying over nothing. No. Oh, no. Yet I have not uttered a single word. I fucking saw it coming from a mile away. Faust the comedian. Yeah, I love you saying, but I didn't say anything. There was a brief cheer, a little hurrah about regaining our colors, followed by a flat-tone explanation of current predicament, which was followed by a long, loaded silence, which was a sequence of events I had the pleasure of watching play out on about 10 consecutive occasions. Yisang looked pissed. This Dante is based on Divine Comedy, and there's a guide character named Virgilius who's part of the main cast. It reminds you... Oh, someone's talking about DMC. Well, yeah, it's based... I mean, it's sort of based on Dante's Inferno. I just read a whole... or watched a whole analysis on it. But I don't think... There's not much reference to the actual story. There's some, like... characters and names, but it's not really... I don't know. I guess not. I don't think there's any, like, the hells. I don't think it's really related to that, but maybe it went over my head because I haven't studied that. There is a brief... yeah. Dante! I understand your confusion, however. Perhaps an elaboration of our present circumstances is necessary. Just beginning, though, because they had a wolf, a lion, and a wolf. I don't really remember that. Yeah, I think we'll get higher Dante focus later, yeah. Yeah, he just sees the suffering of sinners. And that brings us to the present. Let me get this right. This train is still running, and we're drifting through some unknown dimension. Ooh, aught about that striketh me as quite dramatic. She's like it's like super bright. Most importantly, are you saying that you already knew this would happen, Faust? What the hell is wrong with you, huh? The sinners each begin to voice their anger. Of course, this wasn't the first time Faust and Virgilius intentionally and knowingly omitted certain details about events in our path. I wonder if Virgilius is on this train too. Probably not. They have their colors back. They had their colors back before they stepped on the train, but now it's like super bright. 36 cantos over 10 years. Ugh. What, are you insane? It's not like we can just retreat or jump out the door when this stuff hits the fan. Opening the door will result in nearly immediate destruction of the physical body. But hey, at least you know what to do like you always do. You got a plan, right? Right? Faust, whom I had rarely ever seen at a loss for words, was unusually slow to respond. What's up with her? Lass looks totally out of it today. She gives me a sideways glance. There must be something she can't discuss in front of the sinners. Guys, let's pause for a bit. She said that something inconceivables happened. Okay. The other sinner's anger was completely understandable. It also makes sense that this continued lack of communication was harming our trust in Faust. Alright, we're going to go over the situation from the start, okay? But just letting things play out might really turn everyone against Faust, and for good. Besides, I doubt Faust woke us up in the middle of the trip just to spite us. First things first, I gotta get the sinners to calm down. Then I'll ask Faust to tell us what happened. If there's a problem, we'll figure it out and deal with it as we move along. Tell us what's going on, Faust, all of it, and in a way that we can all understand. CEO planned to make Limbus 10 years? Oh my fucking gosh. Ugh, that's so long. But they're making another game in the middle, right? I thought they said they were going to. They better still. Because it's going to be like Distortion Detective or something, right? But they're not hiring more staff or something? Gah, whatever. Let's hear... I mean, really, I'm only here for the Dawn Canto. Let's hear her out first. Is that okay with you guys? If you say so, I'll go along with it. Fine. I suppose losing my rat rarely ever did anything. Yeah, they're focused on Limbus right now due to lacking dev team size, and Mr. CEO doesn't want to see employees as numbers and thus refuses to expand. Yeah, I kind of read some of that and it kind of seems stupid. Like he's like, I can't manage all these people, and it's like, then hire someone to help you manage. They said that the CEO is heavily considering cooperation with other devs to develop new games on the side. Thank you. Then, after some time, the gist of Faust's explanation was as follows. The cause of this issue, as always, was a certain contract and a unilateral decision from the higher-ups of Limbus Company. Yeah, I kind of ascertained that like 2 minutes ago. W Corp caught wind of Limbus Company's recent distortion contract management promotions and decided to contract us to deal with a mysterious repeated series of incidents suspected to have been caused by a distortion. After multiple failed attempts to resolve it on their own, of course. The distortions themselves likely did not pose a problem for W Corp. It is based on the available information. It can be determined that they would have all been neutralized as soon as the train arrived, and any transformed passengers would have been reverted to their human forms. But the real issue was that passengers were disappearing. It's that dimension cutting thing. It's cutting dimensions and taking them to different dimensions. Yes, passengers spirited away. Alas, such is an impossibility aboard these trains, is it not? That is the question for which we must discover the precise cause and effect of. Wandering passenger. Yeah, that guy. Did W Corp share anything to get us started? That appears to be the most prominent cause of this misunderstanding. She explained that W Corp refused to share anything about the trains because they were concerned about maintaining the secrets of their singularity. Maybe that's exactly why they sought out an upstart business like Limbus Company to deal with this, now that I think about it. We wouldn't even know where to start if we didn't have access to the information that the identity cards had to offer. Faust produced what appeared to be a key card with W Corp's logo on it before continuing with her explanations. However, we were given this master key card that can open and close the hibernation capsules at will. So are we gonna interrogate a bunch of people? Or are we just gonna fucking fight them? Well, I think it was mentioned that the team is fine right now, so no needed to add new staff because they are fine right now with their current team. The delays say otherwise. We may return to our respective capsules as soon as the contract is fulfilled and safely complete the rest of the journey as we planned from the beginning. These bloody wings, every single one of them's absolutely barmy. I think it's a bit unkind of them to ask us to finish the puzzle without all the important pieces. As Otis would put it, advanced interrogation techniques. That's right. Knowing the bus, they'll probably just fight everything that moves. Yep. At least at T-Corp, their chief executive director tagged along as our assistant, not to mention kindly explaining so many new things to us. That's right. Sounds like Miss Faust is stuck between a rock and a hard place herself. Some sinners grew more receptive after her explanations, albeit with a sigh. I would have appreciated it if you'd at least gave us a hint. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but it's not like there's someone out there monitoring your every move and every word, right? That is... But not everyone was willing to let this go without saying their piece. Next time, I will take your inputs into account. Doubt it. And that's everything I can do for her. It's an undeniable truth that Faust has disappointed the sinners with what she's done. But she is Faust after all. I'm sure she has backup plans to get us out of this situation. Right? So what's next on our agenda? Yeah, what's done is done, right? Besides, it's not like we gotta rot away for thousands of years inside this metal box. And Faust is like... That is something I must first discuss with Dante. Discuss? But discussing things with other people is very unlike Faust. What are we discussing, Faust? We must converse at a lower volume, Dante. Why are we whispering? Her secretive attitude only exasperated my already battered sense of safety. My connection to Gesellschaft, Faust, has been severed. I'm sorry, what? I cannot access Faust's knowledge at the moment. I am literally a fucking idiot at this point. I guess I really was right to be anxious. Damn, Faust has no internet connection right now. Boom, bang. Okay, this is on Shuri. Yellow, yellow, gold, gold, gold. Oh my god!
Ah! No! Please give me something. It's been so long. It's been so long.
This has to be the 5th straight roll. Fuck! Gosh, it's so awful. I mean, my team's pretty awesome, but I don't really need anyone, but still. I do have, like, fucking... yeah, almost 2,000 chests. There's the gacha mechanic of the gacha game. I still need to read the Dante notes. 2,000 boxes. Yep, just normal. 2,000 shard chests. Oh, it's a fight. We're gonna beat the shit out of someone.
We eat when hungry, and we
Oh,
sleep
fuck, it's
when
back up.
tired of eating.
Skill issue.
Thanks, Clockwork. I really don't want to do... I don't really understand how the backup works, and I don't think I can be bothered to care. I mean, I sort of do, and I understand, or at least I did, how backup works, but it just didn't fucking matter to me because I don't try to speed run the thing. You can just shard Heath and save Lunacy for Walpurgis, yeah. Whoops. So it's whatever that is. Blunt.
네, 작전.
네.
준비
Put you in.
출발합니다.
청소 준비
put you in.
완료.
Oh no. You go in. You go in.
재촉지 마시오. 청소 준비.
주인놈
밧줄.
No, I fucked up. Now I gotta do it all over again. Boom,
작전
boom, boom.
전가요?
Yes.
준비는
Yes.
출발하자.
And then put this away. Bang,
청소.
boom, bang, boom.
주인놈 뜻에
Ooh.
주문.
일인가요?
There we go.
착수.
Might as well use all the sinners. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Wait, do you have friends on Limbus? Oh, I don't use supports. I'm not a fan of that mechanic. Yeah, you'll notice my team has all of the bonus stuff I can for Mirror Dungeon. Actually, it's pretty sweet. Like, my charge team is sort of working if I focus on it. What do you mean you can't? I mean it in the most literal sense. My access to Faust's input and information, which has always been readily available, is completely severed. Oh, what if everything about this situation is something you don't have access to yet? Like you said last time? I don't really know what he's talking about, but I do remember she was cut off, and that's why everyone called her a fraud, but I can't really remember what that was. One cannot completely dismiss that probability, but even that is uncertain. Faz got timed out of the Discord server. Chain battles are crucial on Railroad 4 this time. I did the first section and only had one of them come in. Train time. Every answer Faust has given me was always full of confidence and methodical expertise. I don't think she's ever said a sentence that was this full of speculation and doubt. Then, Faust, you are... Yes, at this moment I am limited to operating only with my knowledge. Oh my gosh. I cannot discern the cause of this disconnection. More than enough precautions have likely been taken in case of interdimensional travel. But perhaps Faust did not take into account an occasion in which we may have to access an
eat
unidentified
when hungry,
dimension such as this.
and we sleep when tired of eating.
As far as I can tell, you just put your good IDs in first and
Yeah.
then your bad IDs. Meanwhile, I ran out of Limbus Company shitpost videos to watch, so I started playing Lobotomy Corporation. I don't need to tell you this is your fault.
I'm
And
happy for you.
recatface.jpg.
That is the good. That's the game that's actually fun. I hope you enjoy it. If you've played the other games, you're ready for that game. Every Project Moon game, just you need someone to hold your hand and tell you how it actually operates, or you just muscle head through it like I did. Although I did have people helping me with Lobotomy Corporation. Or even if it was taken into account, this particular dimension may not yet have been subject to cross-observation. Your wallops, that's right. Thank you, Clockwork. Yeah, that's kind of what I did when I did the first part of Railway. If that is not the case, then no, never mind. There was nothing that suggested my connection to Faust would be lost, not even as we boarded the train. To be honest, this is a rather disagreeable situation for me. Really? There's not been any other Faust that lost connection like this? Alright. For now! I will be pissed later! Now that changes everything. I recalled the last thing I saw before the hatch on the capsule closed, when Faust told me not to worry too much. I'm a little confused why they couldn't say that in front of everyone else, but maybe she's just embarrassed. Okay, this is just a minor setback. That sounds like a huge fucking setback. Nothing we can't beat, right? We got this. I began to mutter like I was trying to convince myself. As the manager, my job is to calm everyone down and set their sights on the future, just as Faust did for me immediately before the hatch closed. If you're right about why you were disconnected, then that problem will solve itself once we're off the train. And if we do ever run out of options, I'll just turn the clock and see what happens. What did I just say? If we ever run out of options, we'll do that. Don't stress yourself too much. We still have a lot to work with. Your knowledge, Maya, clock, the sinners, and Don Quixote! I could feel my confidence taking a hit with every word that came out of my metaphorical mouth. But that seemed to be enough for Faust. She nodded. Understood. And to the sinners. The fact we are currently confined to a warp train in operation must be a source of enough stress. I believe that sharing Faust's current state with them would add an unnecessary source of tension. I see. They basically lost access to Google. That is anything but a minor setback. That's right. What, so wrecking this door ain't gonna do anything? I literally was thinking this in my head, that he would be doing this. We're all going to bite it once it opens? How many times do I have to tell you that you're not even strong enough to break this door down? Is that a fucking challenge, bitch? 1 billion years in this box. I don't know about 1 billion. Yeah, good idea. So what now? Do we have to take a searching sweep around each car or something? In the grand scheme of things, yes. Faust cleared the air with a cough before continuing. By A-Corp's standard time scale, approximately 3 days have passed since our departure. Okay, that's kind of what I expected. She lost her mouse. Mom! 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 Reset the internet router! Mom! As per the contracts between Limbus Company and W Corp, I acquired the master keycard, placed inside my capsule, and adjusted the hatch settings to open automatically in 3 days. 3 days, huh? Feel like I just blinked in. I guess that's hybrid. No. As you were all informed prior to boarding, there is no way for the economy class passengers to enter the first car. That is why this place has remained untouched. I forgot the stages of insanity they went through, like how quickly they all went insane. 3 days is pretty rough though. They kick LCB Faust, but not N-Corp Faust. What? You mean out of the Faust network? However, cross-referencing my own deductions and W Corp's rather fragmentary explanations, I can assume that the situation is currently under progress in the economy class cars. The part where they thrash the shite out of one another, tearing their limbs off, all that mess. No, I doubt that. I don't think it gets that bad in just 3 days. Thank you for the refresher. Besides, that's supposed to be business as usual for W Corp, right? There must be something else that's out of the ordinary that they want us to deal with. Precisely, in my opinion, it is. Oh, hold that thought for but a moment. Just as Faust was about to continue, Don Quixote raised her index fingers to her lips and signaled her to be quiet. Dost thou hear aught as I do? Scratching, nay, rapping! Forsooth, past this gate must be... Don Quixote kept listening with her ear to the door. An odd expression of half curiosity and half horror appeared on her face. It is possible that there must be... Lady Faust? So what happened in under 3 days? I think they all just got normally insane. After that very distressful noise, everyone simultaneously turned their heads to look at Faust, who closed her eyes briefly in thought. Please step aside for a moment, Don Quixote. It would be best if I observed it with my own eyes. With that, she produced the master keycard from her pocket and approached the panel installed next to the door. Imagine that at 1 a.m. as you game and try to fall asleep at your window, that sound. The other night, it was like midnight, and I heard like a bunch of water like fall in a different room. It sounded like there was a faucet that was turned on, and man, I have never been like so scared that there was an intruder in my house. But I never figured it out. I don't know what it was. And I heard like some rustling before that, so I never found anything. Whoa, hang on a minute. You're gonna open the door? I intend to follow your usual flavor of suggestion, Heathcliff. Ah, yes, the infamous water burglar. I have no idea. I thought it was like some homeless guy or something. That there are times in which a physical altercation is preferable to detached ruminations. Huh? My suggestion? Well, I ain't gonna disagree with you there, but what's gotten into you, lass? After all, how could I deduce anything without seeing it myself? I bet she's just like totally despondent. After a brief mechanical beat, hideous creatures suddenly crashed through the open door and charged wildly in our direction. Here we go! Here we go! The gameplay! Damn, I love gameplay. Fucking bullet on the first turn, damn it! Gameplay in my Andy stream? I remember the train being this bright. I know, isn't it like fucking bright as hell? 84 minutes later, the guy asking what the gameplay looks like can finally see. Yeah, and I do the laziest fucking way to do the gameplay. Someone want to succinctly explain the gameplay?
신속히 처리하죠.
My team is typically overpowered, so I don't need to do anything
구동 무력화.
most of the time. I don't even know what we're fighting. I didn't even look. I just pressed win rate, and now we're through. All right, now back to an hour of reading before the next gameplay. They added new clash animations this patch? What does that mean? Win rate gaming. Lady Faust. However similar, your units will not bind block. Will now bind / block and dodging. Oh, interesting. Oh, maybe I'll try and pay attention to that. Okay, I'll pay more attention. Yeah, like, my team is so overpowered that 80% of the battles I can just auto it. Those are usually the shit part of the game anyway, though. Because you can't, like, that battle, you cannot control your guys, your morons that well, so it's not that exciting. There's other battles, like the boss battles, that are more intense and have a lot of strategy. Lady Faust. However similar in appearance they may have been to the passengers, verily, 'tis as though they were in a complete want of sense. Like people politified by the whale. Don Quixote hesitated until the last second to raise her weapon against them. She hung her head mournfully. Normally, Faust would have told her more information about those monsters before the fight began. So during a clash, you'll see 2 attack animations, a block / bind, and a dodge. It's so weird seeing you see Rosia in this ship brick house dodge an attack instead of slapping the attack away. It's a chain battle and you just match colors. I mean, I never fucking do resonances. And she would not have been burdened by the sheer thought of bringing harm to the innocent. Faust began searching the area, closely observing various bodies in the general area for information. You appear particularly inquisitive today, Miss Faust. Everyone is noticing. Huh, yeah. Aren't you usually the one who has all the answers while we're racking our brains trying to come up with something? The sinners were starting to feel that something was off about Faust's behavior. This is interesting. Dumb Faust. They might even soon realize that there's something wrong with Faust. Don Quixote. They are not dead. Huh? Observe closer. The parts are all tethered to one another by something, are they not? Whoa! It appears that the flow of time has ceased in the space. Therefore, it follows that the connections that tether bodies to life and away from death remain intact. To my relief, Faust managed to correctly figure out what's going on like her usual self, even if it took her slightly longer than it usually does. Yeah, J Fox, there was a battle like in one of the last streams that took me like 45 minutes straight. But they usually start with a bunch of easy battles, and like I said, my team is so absurdly overpowered that they just stomp everything. But I feel like that's the case for most people's teams. Because it's very... In the beginning, it is extremely easy to just use your free gacha points to get characters, or you can just grind for... You can grind for everything. You literally don't have to pay for anything in this game. And it's all... You can get through the game easily without having to spend any money. Faust managed to correctly figure out what's going on. Oh, yeah. Hey, what I'd say, we got this. Huh? What was that about? Oh, nothing. But I'd forgotten that not all the sinners were content with nodding along to whatever information Faust told us. The flow of time is ceased aboard a warp train, is it? I think you're wrong, Miss Faust! You're an idiot! A fool! I will be the one that says no. Yiseng grew pensive. Seeing that, Faust's lips parted for a moment before closing shut. My teams are just AOEs and nukes. I was starting to get a good read of her expressions. That was an unmistakable look of regret, however short-lived. Howbeit, would it not be more accurate to muse that the flow of time has decelerated to the point where, to an extra-dimensional observer, it has slowed to a stop? What is your what is your perspective regarding this suggestion? Yes, that is a most rational suggestion, Yiseng. Did Miss Faust just get something wrong? And then Sinclair immediately is like, it's over! It's over! We're so fucked! Everyone just panics. Wow. Wow. Yiseng sure is a time expert, right? Living in Time Town, T-Corp Time Town, having watches and making experiments. Wow, Yiseng, you're so smart. Can you summarize it in easier language now that we're talking about it anyway? Ah, glad. That smile. Why does it look so fucked? It looks weird. It looks like really long. Gladly, if you would allow me. Yiseng began to elaborate with gentle enthusiasm. Shit, Claire would be the first to cause mass panic. Yeah, that was a good diversion by Dante. Yeah, that was close. To speak in brevity, it can be said that death is not an element aboard this train. I wonder how that affects us sinners. I guess Dante doesn't have to turn back death. He can turn back other injuries. And can you maybe speak in a little less brevity? To elaborate. Verily, this one's heart beats still. Don Quixote lowers her head and listens closely to what appeared to be a dismembered torso and shouts with release. Their state is akin to an unassembled jigsaw puzzle, merely immobilized and separated. Though their corpus has been sundered, the concept of death is a state of, for all intents and purposes, eternal delay aboard this train. Existence in continuance of moratorium. I like the way Yiseng speaks. Forced they are to be tethered upon the thinnest yet tenacious thread of life. I ill understood what hath been said here, yet they are not dead all the same, If their severed parts are all connected, then it can be said that no matter how entangled their bodies become, it is not impossible to eventually gather their parts together to form a single passenger. Thus, naturally, we can determine how and why the profession W Corp cleanup agent has come to be. I see. Because someone will have to categorize and reconstruct these puzzles once the journey is over. It's really baffling to me that a job like that even exists. Ever seen a wing that isn't baffling in every sense of the word? Still, I guess that means that as long as the train arrives at the station, they'll all be put back together like nothing happened. From what I heard, through the W Corp identities, their main job was to gather chunks of flesh together to bring them back to their original shapes before they boarded the trains. It's a lot more visceral when I have to look at it in person. Whew. That is quite the auspicious news among ill tidings indeed. Yeah, there's a lot of Don Quixote focus. It soon clicked in me what Faust was, though with some awkward effort, trying to do as I watched Don Quixote sigh with relief. Maybe Faust was just trying to cheer Don Quixote up in her own way. The other Faust would not find it even necessary to do something like that. The cleanup Faust. Dante! Huh? What's up? Oh, time to whisper, right? Indeed. I intend to collect further intelligence. Well, if there's anything I can tell you. Faust cast a dark glaze towards the chunks of flesh. Her gaze remained fixed upon them as she whispered. Are they distortions? Or abnormalities? Oh yeah, I actually want to ask you about that. They weren't human, that's for sure. From them, I felt the same sensation I felt from monsters. Something inexplicable, an unclear sense, or an aura. I felt this I felt this somewhere before, I'm sure of it, but I couldn't quite pinpoint the source of this sensation. Basically janitors with space-rending mops. Yeah. One thing I do not know for sure is that this sensation was not the same feeling I got from abnormalities, distortions, or even the Pecatula. If I had to lean one way or another, I'd just say they're closer to distortions. I'm sorry, I don't think they're either of those. Is it difficult to be certain at the moment? Again, I'm not sure how I can explain this, but they're very, very similar to distortions, but also different. If you had to ask, then I guess Faust doesn't know. Faust may know, but at this moment, I, at this moment, have no way of knowing. I feel like I should apologize for that. There is no need, Dante! Though the information you have provided me is rather ambiguous, it has helped me to do something of worth. And collecting evidence myself and creating deductions based on sparse information is quite... She paused, holding a bloody, slimy chunk of flesh in her hands. Did she just smile to herself with gore in her hands? They should have ended the chapter right there. Huh. Finally, the awakening has begun. They should have ended it at Heathcliff's line. That was better.
이 정도면 훈장감.
Yeah, whatever.
아, 정정. 임무 완료라고 알림. 교신 끝.
Roshu, don't misunderstand. After a round, P-A-S-E-D, Roshu. After a round of intelligence gathering from Faust, we opened the door to the next cabin, only to be greeted by a loud commotion. I do have to say, Warp Train is like my favorite setting in this game. I think I'm very curious to see what happens. Sounds like there's other survivors. Bouncing Dawn. Passengers in danger. Worry not, for I have arrived to... Ah! Whoa, don't come any closer. Who the hell are you guys? A four-armed woman suddenly jumped in our path. She appeared without warning. What the fuck? What? Faust stumbled a little, inadvertently slapped by the finger-swinging arms as she pushed us away. Right, like you gave me any warning before you practically kicked that door open. She looks like the fucking Bloodborne Code Vein character. Those... I don't know, something about it. Would you mind moving that huge sword out of our faces? It's a bit threatening. Threatening? I'm just trying to protect those civilians in this car. Also, is that a bioprosthetic? Must be an old timer, huh? I thought those things were out of style forever ago. Oh, you want to see what this old timer's got left in him? Ha! Thou art from the north? Verily, thy garb is that of northerners, no? This really ain't the time, lass. Anyways, it looks like we're in the same mess here. Make way for us, yeah? She seemed to be sizing us up for a moment. Nah, how do I trust you? Got any proof that you ain't bitten? I'm not gonna let all my effort protecting this place go to waste. Bitten? Bloody hell are you talking about? Weird. You look completely lost. If you were in one of those economy cars, I'm sure you've seen... Hold on. Are y'all from the first class car? Yeah, we just woke up from our capsules. But none of you look very... I mean, aren't first class seats supposed to be... Well, why didn't you say so from the get-go? Name's Sasha, multi-crack office rep. With that, she lowered her weapons and allowed us to pass. Have you not left this car for the duration of the ride, Sasha? Huh? No, I haven't. We warped over to T-Corp after picking up one of their contracts, but geez, can you believe that this train broke down? Shit, is it even broken? I'm not feeling hungry or sleepy at all. It stinks of some shady bullshit if you ask me. You can feel it all even in a prosthetic body? Man, how could I live without my favorite hobby, drifting into a sweet nap after a pleasant meal? So I made sure to get all the high quality parts from so I can still feel hungry and sleepy. Hasn't something else of note also occurred? You bet your ass! Did something else of note go down? How distracting. Is it hard for you to speak without being so hyper? Or at least stop swinging your arms like that. Can't do that, friend. I broke all my prosthetic arms in a fight, so I'm calibrating a new set. Gotta keep swinging them if I want them to sync up with the other parts anytime soon. Shut the fuck up! I just need to sync! It's just like your iPhone compass. Figure eights. Anywho, I don't know what the hell's going on, but people started turning into some weird monsters all of a sudden. Haven't got a goddamn clue as to who they are. Don't seem like they can understand us either. Good thing my train car didn't have a lot of those monsters. I just chopped whatever monsters were to pieces and hauled the civilians to this vacant car. Sup? 3,201 red colors! 3,202 red colors! You've decided to protect them, despite the potential risk that they may transform as well. But of course! 'Tis expected duty of any valorous fixer to stand guard in the front lines against evil to protect the weak. What's up, Plus? I've been keeping a close eye on him for days. It's so funny because I don't have to like restrict my accent at all. I can just read this. I've been keeping a close eye on him for the last 3 days, and so far, 0 transformations. Go past this car and you'll see what hell on earth really means. Those monsters are constantly trying to claw their way to the front of the train, so if you ask me, I'd wager that some shit went down there at one of the trains in the back, and it spread like wildfire till it reached here. I see. And that's all I can tell you about the situation, so what's your story? Why do you rich, first-class folks suddenly decide to grace us peasants with your presence? See ya, Mig. Have a good night. Yeah, the counting guy is fine. Yeah, he's fine. Nothing that's happening here could have made it to your swanky first-class car, so what is your business down here? W Corp has hired us to solve this case. We are Limbus Company! Fixers! Indeed. Fixers. Faust nodded reluctantly as she affirmed Don Quixote's boisterous declaration. Huh. They got every single one of you a first-class ticket? Your office must be rolling in dough. Wait a goddamn second. So W Corp already knew this would happen? But, are you really contracted to a wing? Not sure if I trust you. As you must be aware, you're well aware yourself, contracts and contract fulfillment are of paramount importance for fixers. With that in mind, please recall that W Corp is one of the most secretive wings of the city. A non-disclosure agreement, huh? Makes sense. I wouldn't want to deal with the Zufi boys either. Anyways, I'm still gonna have to ask for proof that you're actually contracted by W Corp. This is the master keycard given to us by W Corp. I believe that it can open most doors aboard this train. Faust produced a master keycard from her pocket. I guess there isn't any other way for us to prove that we're actually contracted by W Corp. Key card? So you use this to open the path between the first class and economy car. Let's see, W Corp logo. Whoa, nice materials. Yeah, looks like you're telling the truth. Alright, I won't pry. Not like there's any cash in it for me either. So I guess you gotta go all the way down there for your job, huh? Yes. Fixer finally got out of her way. Then with one of her free hands, she pointed towards the opposite door. Well, it's your funeral, ladies and gents, or your victory lap if you guys really are that good. Lots of luck to you. To y'all. I thank thee for thy words of courage, Fixer Sasha. I shall trust thee with protection of this fortress. Prithee, protect the innocence of my steed. Oh shit, this girl freaks me out. What the fuck? Big sis, are you a fixer? You gonna save us from the monsters in the cars behind us? Ho! Just as we were about to reach the other end of the car, a little passenger pulled on Don Quixote's coattails. Aye, forsooth! Whoa, are you a famous fixer? She's like, I don't know if you checked the T-Corp newspaper recently, but I was in there twice! Forsooth, once again, thou mayest know me as a profoundly illustrious fixer. Whoa, I want to be a fixer too, just like you. Don't pester the lady. I'm sorry, she's my daughter and... Worry not thyself, 'tis no bother at all. Thou must dream of becoming a fixer thyself, little squire. It is fortunate that someone like yourself is aboard the train. Your presence ensured that child's survival. What you talking about all of a sudden? Come on, no need to keep up appearances between people in the same line of work. I'm just here to collect some sweet emergency contract fees from each and every one of them. You two on something or what? I see. I don't think Don Quixote needs to hear what was just said. Didn't know you could be like that, Faust. Be like, what? You knew there was no way the fixer was actually there to protect them out of pure goodwill, but you decided to go along with Don Quixote's delusions anyway. Am I right? Yes, right. Good move. I was getting worried about what might happen if she started acting out again. Cold hard cash, let's go. You saw the twinkle in her eyes too, right? Don Quixote's always been energetic, but she's been especially bouncy today. Eyes. Faust strode towards Sasha with a question. I have one last thing to inquire. It'll be 30k on per inquiry. Yeah. That is quite an unsound decision to make for someone who claims to be in the same line of work as us. Have you considered the possibility that once our contract is successfully completed, we could include references to a particularly cooperative associate office in our report to W Corp? Whoa, you're serious? Well, then let me hear it. Were the eyes of the monsters you faced red by any chance? Sasha paused her swinging arms for a moment upon hearing that question, appearing to either be in thought or trying to recall something, then answered. I don't know. Those monsters were red all over, but is there something special about their eye color? Well, for one, my prosthetic eye is red. That passenger's over there's got red eyes, and... Oh, you there. The lady with the big sword's also got red eyes. Wait, is someone out there paying cash for info on red eyes or something? No, well, it was a question of no significance. Faust nodded lightly in her direction, then opened the door to the next car. Oh, that's who has the big sword. I was like, that. I don't really consider that a big sword, but I guess. Red eyes, wah. It was just as we had feared. The scene had appeared before us. Looked like it came straight out of a painting from hell. Yeah, Roche is very excited. Time to Winrate. Sort of sounded like that. Yeah, it's a long katana. Okay, let's see what's like actually going on with these idiots. Violent blood bag passenger. Aggressive blood bag. So they bleed and they gain offense and defense levels. Yeah, you can't fucking trick me this time. I saw that. Oh, and a first turn. Yeah. I don't need a first turn bullet or a first turn rip space. Gotta be a little smart. Every time I see a blue suit, I get revert flashbacks. Don't spoil! I'm not there yet.
교전 시작합니다. 맞는 거.
Oh, I forgot that I had.
표적 확인.
I took Ahab Mile off my team because in Mirror Dungeon she kept fucking killing herself. So I took her off my team. I just replaced it with that one.
교전 시작합니다.
How game works? It's very complicated,
기회인 것 같소.
but doesn't matter because my team's OP. Basically, you got 3 moves for each character. You can also block, and then you can do like a super move. And there's a bunch of math involved and percentages, but basically they go up against each other and they all flip coins, and which adds to it. Oh, they're all staggered. They're fucked. And basically whoever wins that gets to attack. It's like extremely complicated. But the thing is, if you have a good enough team, you really don't have to pay attention. There's also like a million debuffs now, a million buffs. There's unique buffs. There's passives. There's passives you can give yourself. There's resonances, which I never literally have ever used in my life. Actually, I used them in one of the railways briefly. But it doesn't matter. See, in the time it took for me to possibly explain that, I already beat them. So we're back in. Yeah, the tutorials for these games are also really terrible. Like I said, if you want to get into this series, if you like deck building a lot, well, no matter what, I would play the first game. The first game is entirely different than everything. And the reason I play this series is because the story is insanely good and the lore and the world building. But the first game is fun. I really like the first game. The second game, I think, is more fun gameplay than this. It's similar to this, but it's a deck building game and a little more complicated. And then this game is a fucking gacha. But this has the best voice acting, and it has Dawn. Please don't first turn. Yeah, Lobotomy Corporation is the first game, which I highly recommend. I streamed part of it, and I don't really regret not streaming the rest of it, because especially if you're going for like the true ending, it's a very slow game. It's like slow, and then you get to day 40, and it's like fuck, shit, fuck, shit, fuck, and it's like extraordinarily fast and brutal. These games are known for being very hard. This game is not very hard. Well, this is, I would say Ruina and Lobotomy Corp are far harder than this. Oh my fucking gosh! And one of my characters in the beginning of fights can AOE my entire team. I guess not in the beginning, but she can at least hit. She hit 2 of my guys right there because she's a fucking dumbass. And then Dawn can, like, what is it? She does 20%? No, I think it's 10% damage to herself if she's not charged up. -5 SP? Is that what she's at? Did she lose a clash? That's rare for Otis. No, I think she's at... Oh, maybe they'll use -5. Look at all these... Yeah, I mean, there's so much shit on the bottom, and... Yes, we're rip spacing! Go! Yeah! Oh, well, it ended fast. And this is the less complicated version. The more complicated version, I actually get to select who's attacking and where to attack. In this stupid version, I can only select what attack, not like who they're targeting. But those are usually the easy battles. Yeah, LobCorp is hard to stream. It's just a slow game, and I played it pretty slow. I was like, damn, I think I'm grinding too much. I've been grinding like crazy, and then I got to like the day 40s, and I'm like, holy shit, maybe I didn't grind enough. LobCorp looks like the type of game that give arthritis and carpal tunnel. I don't know about that. Not really. There's a lot of busy work when you get to your kind of later playthroughs. I forgot. I used to have a good like mindset to play. Like I tell people play with this mindset and it makes it more fun. Because otherwise you can like play the game with the wrong mindset and like really make it kind of awful. Yeah, LobCorp is... It's certainly a game. I really like it, but there's definitely a grindy session. You can stop time in LobCorp, so you can select your pace. Yeah, you can stop time. Yep. The issue with LobCorp is a lot of memorization and routine consistency. Yeah, I think that's part of the fun part, though. I think a game is... I like it. Team's not doing as hot as it did last time. But the first game, there is a lot of lore, but it's a lot of gameplay. It's not as visual novelty. Yeah, I really recommend Lobotomy Corporation. It's good if you have someone kind of explain the basics to you, because their guides are shit. I kind of like I would have my friends play, and I would be like, let me like help you out the first time you play, because it gets really it's hard to understand what's going on. I hope I remember how to play that game. I think I do. It's just kind of confusing. If you really enjoy management sims, I've never played a management sim and I like that game. Lore and gameplay are intertwined to a very high degree in every game. Yeah. PC or Xbox? I think Ruina's on the Switch now. Lobotomy Corp is on PC. I don't think it's on a different console. Phew. Battling in a narrow hallway really takes a lot out of you. Too bad. Making big movements when there's not a lot of room to move around and takes more energy than you might think. Especially for people like us who use longer weapons. Also, in Library of Ruina and this game, the music is pretty fucking banger. There are some good tracks in Lobotomy Corporation, but you kind of... Bam, 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 bam. It's kind of the same song all the time. These enemies weren't much harder than the ones we fought earlier, but it was inevitable that their sheer number would eventually wear down the sinners. Who are these things, Faust? Yeah, I've been wondering too. Why are you so tight-lipped all of a sudden? Those entities are... What do you think those identities are? That small smile. Huh? Didn't I just ask you the same question? Oh no, are you stupid? Giving us a chance to come up with our own answers first? Of course, Faust did not confirm nor deny his question, but Sinclair was perfectly capable of interpreting her silence in his own fashion. There were some things I learned after fighting them, I think. These monsters aren't mad at us, nor do they want to attack us because we're an obstacle. That's not why they're attacking us. To be fair, Ruina is poorly optimized in general for most part. Doesn't Yasad's stage cause a memory leak? I think I did his stage. I don't think it does. Lobotomy Corporation. There is a, if you do play it, there's a memory leak mod fix. I didn't use it, but I recommend you use it because the game can like start to lag randomly. Also, there's a fucking bitch in the game that literally can cheat. She literally can cheat, and then she wins no matter what because she cheats. She makes herself absolutely invincible, and it happened to me twice, and I'll never fucking forgive. I'll never forgive her. Fucking Bina. Quite, 'tis apparent that they hunger for aught, charging at anyone and anything in a desperate quest of it. Right, that's strange though. I thought hunger or thirst wasn't a thing aboard these trains. The memory leak bug is attached to the fucking music slider. If you mute the music, it stops. Mod doesn't fix the leak. It's apparently an unfixable issue related to the version of Unity it runs on. However, the mod improves performance and minimizes crashing risk. I think I did have it crash like twice, and I was like, fuck. Yeah, Lobotomy Corporation is like, it has a slow start, and then you start getting into it, and then it gets like brutally fucking hard. But the great thing is, you have to do these like challenges in it, and every time I beat a challenge and they gave me the reward, I was like, no fucking way. I'm going to be so OP. And then the next challenge hit. I'm like, this is so fucking hard. Every reward, well, most of the rewards in that game, I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. And then I'd get like my ass slapped in the next one. I like the game a lot. It could be determined from the entity's attack patterns that their offensives were not based on rational thought. The source of this behavior can only be traced back to primal aggressiveness. Yes, and? And? Was there anything else? Anything else? Oh, I think they all had red eyes. Their bodies wreathed in blankets of red. I smelled blood, so that's likely what they're made of. Then it must be that the red was congealed, nay, crystallized blood. Thank you all. Your input has been very helpful. She is not good at hiding this. This Faust desperately trying to milk that info. I know. Is the dev's first game out of college, so you can kind of excuse its poor optimization. I don't know, it was right out of college. But yeah, as like a first game, it's pretty sick. I think the world building they did was very good. I think that's the most impressive thing. Like, they went hard in the first game and built they keep a lot of stuff unknown, and they drop bits and pieces everywhere. And then Bina comes around, and then she says all her fucking crazy ass shit, and I'm like, wait, these aren't metaphors? You're not speaking like in some really long riddle or metaphor? This is all real? And then she's like, I'm gonna go between the hallways and become invincible, and your game's broken now. It was my turn to start whispering. What did you learn from that? We are unlucky, Dante. I have read upon this subject as a tangent. While perusing information regarding our next destination, moments before we boarded the train. And while that will be a useful element in resolving this situation, the sinners have also been a very good source of intelligence when it came to categorizing and identifying important evidence from the available sea of information. Your advice was correct, Dante. You mean, you know what to do to blow this case wide open? Nothing can be said with absolute certainty at the moment. However, this will be a good place for us to start. With that, Faust turned around and faced the rest of the sinners. See? Like, now Faust is like actually kind of interesting instead of being a fucking terribly boring know-it-all. She's finally an interesting character. We love our hags. Bina be like pillar time. I love how no one suspects a thing and are enjoying Faust not giving all the answers. Guess everyone is finally gets to have fun solving the mystery for once. Yeah, Faust is probably my least favorite character. For some reason, in like the very beginning of the game, I kind of liked her. And then I was like, I just fucking hate every single time she opens her mouth. The children yearn for the corporation. Yeah, that's right. As the games go on, it gets progressively better and better. I will now present before you a solution to this predicament. Huh? Is there something else we gotta do other than beating the crap out of whatever's in our way? That will not change, no. However, what I'm about to share with you will give you a better understanding of the purpose behind W Corp's contract and provide us with the possible means of finding the method by which we may complete it. It is very likely that the entity behind the incidents on this train, and by extension, every incident of the same nature that has occurred in the previous warp train trips, is a blood fiend. What the fuck are you talking about? What? Wait, what? You can't just leave? You can't just leave after saying that. What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck's a blood fiend?
그치? 좋았어.
Sorry. I hope Gregor gets an event focused around him since, like, Roja, his Kanto is underbaked. I really liked his Kanto because of the failure. I thought it was a really good introduction. And then the first half of Roja's Kanto is really good, but yeah, the end of hers is just not. Vampires, Andy, they're vampires because they're bitten. Faust finally has more personality than a human chatbot GPT. Yeah.
검 끝에 바라본다.
They're all just like, all right, yeah, blood fiend, all right, makes sense. Wait, a blood fiend? What's a blood fiend? A blood fiend? What in the name of wings is that? Huh? You of all people haven't heard of blood fiends? Thought you were our team expert on obscure lore. Verily, I have not once heard mention of these blood fiends. Perchance I have let a magazine article slip from my memory. I'm all for more Dawn. Don Quixote furrowed her brows, genuinely lost. It was as though the very word sounded alien to her. I thought those were just monsters in stories to scare children at night. They're supposed to be afraid of garlic and sunlight, right? Oh, they're really vampires. Oh, that sounds a bit different from what I heard. I also don't really like Hong Lu. He's just a nice guy. And that's a nice rich boy who's ignorant. I heard their fear of garlic and sunlight is just a rumor. What they're really afraid of is water. I've been briefed on the existence of blood fiends in the past when I served as a commanding officer. I have seen the dregs they command. Though my memory isn't very clear, hag, I am quite certain that these monsters here do not resemble what I've seen. I've seen one who called themselves as Blood Fiend among the ranks of the Fingers, but the things that Blood Fiend commanded weren't like these rubber textured ones. They're afraid of water being more accurate is hilarious. That guy, I'm glad the characters are just as clueless as I am joining now. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's how this series is. You gotta invest deep. You gotta read so much lore. Something off about this one. That one didn't spawn these dregs with abandon like this. But aren't you supposed to know this already? Andy, for a casual stream, would you ever consider playing Mortis Ghosts off? Is that a Ligma? Sounds like a Ligma. I ain't never heard of that. A French game? Is this a mobile game? No. I don't know. I've never heard of this. There's a lot of white. Oh, is it a turn-based? No, I probably wouldn't play it then. Not on stream for sure. I'll look into it, but turn-based is not my thing. I know this is technically turn-based, but sucks to play, but it's a great story. But aren't you supposed to know this already? Yes. I see that some sinners have encountered blood fiends in the past. A long-winded explanation seems unnecessary. As many of you have stated thus far, the entities we faced in this train do not appear to be blood fiends. In a sense, they are dreg-like beings that have failed to become kindreds. They are referred to as blood bags among relevant parties, according to the information I am aware of. Not a terrible name. Why would anyone name someone blood bags? As it has been said prior, it is impossible for passengers to disappear aboard warp trains under normal circumstances. Though our reserve of intelligence regarding warp trains or W Corp is vast, if incomplete, we could not find a possible exception to the above rule. That is interesting. So they know a lot about the warp trains. Within that reserve of intelligence, however, I have discovered that inserting a previously unseen variable into the equation allows for the formulation of a new hypothesis. That you can just fuck off with that language. That pisses me off. Wait, you're saying that these blood fiends can completely erase people or passengers from existence? Would have asked for YIIK if Andy was more favorable of turn-based games. Yeah, I mean, I am playing Fire Emblem now, which is sort of turn-based. A more accurate descriptor would be to say that they are either dissolved or vaporized. Dissolved. No matter the degree of violence the passengers may indulge in, no matter how severe their wounds may be, the warp trains can revert them to their initial states at the beginning of the journey. Among several interpretations of the word violence involves cannibalism, of course. Yeah. Out of curiosity, what's the hardest fight you've done in this game? Maybe Arbor Moth. Arbor Moth, I think. Something from Railway. Wasn't it the sunglasses? No, but he took me, I think, like 4 attempts. I didn't do any of the pre-nerf stuff, I don't think. Gas Harpoon, I first tried, if I recall correctly. Not without effort. I really like sunglasses. That's one of my favorite parts of the game. Yeah, I think Arbor Moth is the thing that gave me the most trouble. Arbor Moth, and then the shell clam thing in that same Railway. I don't know what else in the Railways. It's been a while, but it was definitely Railway stuff. However, as the passengers' collective time itself is in a moratorium for the duration of the train's operation, digestion is not a biological process that should be active. In other words, even the devoured passengers could be reconstructed. Dream Devouring Silk Current? I think that one took me a couple tries too. If they are merely stuffed into the digestive tract, then I suppose they could gut out the passengers to retrieve the chewed up chunks of other passengers and piece them back together via the vein-like things constructing each individual. However, such is not true for blood bags. Blood bags are, by their nature, obsessed with blood. Their existence hinges on supplying themselves with the blood of their victims. And it is said that they must consume a minuscule amount of blood to maintain their current forms. Wait, what? Didn't you say that digestion's not a thing on the trains? If we were to continue my deductions, perhaps consumption of blood for blood fiends and blood bags is a fundamentally different process from our consumption of nutrients for energy. Ah, okay. To them, blood is a culmination, an entailment of something that forms the self, including but not limited to emotions, ambitions, wealth, purposes of existence. Then it must naturally follow that they can spend their blood at will, which is a process isolated from other biological processes such as digestion. Alright, following? What, I ain't even following half of that. You exist in a moratoria of time at the present moment, Heathcliff. Yet your emotions still persist, do they not? Anger, sorrow, and joy. They continue to spark within you. Huh? Well, I suppose they are. Even though we cannot tell whether they may be in a state of alteration or whether they remain ensnared in the wheel of creation and destruction, it can be said that emotions, once past, exist not in continuation. The passengers' will to live, the worth of this very existence in which they thrive, do they not all gently atrophy into non-existence even amidst the ceased time? Miss Faust speaks to illustrate the similarity between how emotions are to ourselves and how blood is to blood fiends. I don't know if that was simple enough for fucking Heathcliff, but I understand it. I mean, it's kind of hand-waving, but whatever. Yeah, I suppose they are. Kathy took all my joy, though. Yeah. Blood bags like Blugs. Never would have guessed. I feel like the story writers were like, players are immediately gonna be like, but you can't shit! So how does this work? You can't shit on the warp train. You can't shit! So how any of this work? And they're like, we gotta write something. Gotcha. That's why she said all the blood is vaporized, huh? Who's Kathy Heathcliff? Remember. If that's the case, then the very blood that's supposed to bind these chunks of flesh together will also evaporate, which means they can't be pieced back together. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. There is no incongruence in that logic. Thanks. Just noticed how, like, cut up his belt buckle is and stuff. Everyone fell silent for a moment. That was way too much information to process at once. We didn't even know what to make of them either. I would like to ask a few questions if you would permit me. No. Yisang was the first to break the silence. Never underestimate a PM's fan to ability to overanalyze every bit of dialogue and also not read at all. Could it be said that blood bags are direct creations of blood fiends? If such is the case, then by which method do they... No. That information is inaccessible at the moment. Look at Yisang's face. Faust replies, avoiding Yisang's gaze. If there's anything I can do about this, the sinners will only get more stressed if they find out what's going on with Faust. And that's something we both want to avoid. Inaccessible. Ah, indeed. I now recall what you said in the past. This is only a speculation, however. I assume that a form of direct physical contact is needed to turn an individual into a blood bag. If it were not the case, then we, who are likely the greatest obstacles to this entity's goal at the moment, would have been the first to be turned. TLDR, blood fiends basically absorb a being's blood entirely and leaves no traces behind or something like that, so avoids the pseudo immortality of the warp trains. Well, I don't think they're saying it avoids the pseudo immortality. Oh, well, I guess it does. Because they said it needs the blood to maintain its shape. So it's avoiding the immortality, and also at the same time, because although they kept saying threads, it sounds like the blood is needed to reconstruct the individuals from the warp train at its end by the cleanup crew, and so people are disappearing because of that. Yeah, bloodless flesh is left behind. Right, so there's something that isn't getting immortal, and then it's actually taking away the immortality, I guess, from other people. Sort of. What I said before is better than what I just said. It makes sense. This is only a speculation, however. I mean, a lot of us are working with Library of Ruina knowledge, so we kind of know a little bit more about how the train works and what happens. This is only speculation, of course. However, I assume that a form of direct physical... Indeed. In that case, that villain of a blood fiend must be hiding somewhere aboard this train. Indeed. If we are to believe the words of the Fixer earlier, then there is a high likelihood that the Horde is advancing in this direction from the back of the train. In other words, continuing down the train cars will lead us straight to the Blood Fiend. Very well, I shan't forsake this opportunity to bring peace to the souls of innocent passengers who have perished by the villain's hands. Dante. Dante, please. Dante, please. Dante, please. It seems that Don Quixote was now invigorated. The other sinners also seemed satisfied now that we had a clearer sight of our goal. Faust, who stood amongst them, nodded in my direction. Well then, let's go. We're making the best of what's available to us at the moment. Let's move forward for now. She just like holding on to my arm. PM fans will read the lore and dialogue with perfect comprehension, then fail to read tiny text box during a boss fight that says hit this boss every other turn. Yeah, basically. Oh my fucking gosh, is that a warp train guy? I'm a little scared. Oh, what the fuck? When hit, if the attacker used a skill that gains charge, the attacker steals 1 charge count from this unit. Motherfucker. Oh my gosh. Well, whatever.
교전 시작합니다.
What's up, Mark?
피어나라.
They are ripping space. Doing rip space move causes the screen to flash red in this event. I did use rip space, but I couldn't. We didn't get through the full animation. Fucking damn it, Otis.
두드러졌구려.
I don't know how to use clean up Faust. I don't know what the point of her charge really is. There's like a bind move she has, but that's all I saw. Oh come on! Oh come on!
지금이 기회인 것 같소.
Otis recreates her old days. Dawn needs 10 charge. This blood bag, I'm gonna do what's called a pro gamer move. No, do not use rip space, motherfucker. Dawn.
키워보지.
She gains charge on her S1. That's mostly it. Yeah, like, she doesn't seem to do much with her charge, except that one move that adds bind. I didn't read her passives, but since I've been doing the mirror dungeons, I was just kind of wondering. I was looking at doing a little bit. I haven't really looked in the Hong.
맞는 거야.
I mostly know how W Dawn works.
약점 파관요.
Okay, I have a chance to use rip space. Okay, but she's at the end of the chain. Fucking kill them all. Oh well, wait. What are they weak to? Kill them all.
완벽한 한 발을 위해.
이 스며들 듯한 비. 우산이 새진 않나 모르겠소.
I wonder how much damage it's gonna do. Shit damage. Faust, W-Faust's main gimmick is giving other allies charge at uptype 4 as her passive gives 1 charge to random ally when she gains charge. Oh, are we gonna get to? We are gonna get to see rip space. It's gonna be the next attack. Fuck! Damn it! No one's strong enough to survive the whole thing.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
Who's the furry?
표적 파괴.
That's the super move, the ego. That's his ego. He's taking on the form of a fox that has been stabbed with umbrellas and also holds an umbrella in its mouth.
다시 못 살게 구는.
That's not the furry, trust me. There's I have the furry. I'll pull her out if she doesn't kill everyone in this fight. I probably have enough to activate it. I'll show you the real furry.
맞는 거야.
Nope, they're gonna kill everyone.
맞는 거야.
Oh no, they didn't. Here, I'll show it. Just for you. This should work. Oh fucking damn it! Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. Why does he have like full health? That's scary.
교전 시작합니다.
Here's the furry.
전부 찢어버리겠네.
Oh, I guess I should have overcharged her, because then she would do the howl. I have 20 charge though. I never need it. If I could turn one that'd be fine, but like by the time I get it, I really don't need it.
다시 못 살게 구는.
Skill 1
일은
gives
없을
4
것이오.
charge, skill 2 gives 6 charge. It sounds like an uptype 4 thing. Then uses 3 charge to apply bind. I don't remember if I was getting that much charge. S3 gains 2 charge,
어딘가에
clash power at
가고 싶군.
5 plus charge, and applies minus 2 attack power at 3 paralysis. Paralysis being the good part, yeah. It's all uptype 4 since W-Faust sucks at uptype 3. Oh. You get one more. Okay, I'll do one more.
파우스트 전투 시작합니다.
Enemies are also chain battling? Oh, I didn't know this. Another fight. Tree saying always MVP, shaking my head. He's pretty good. I've had him for a long time. He's really good. I mostly understand him.
내 앞을 막을
I
자는
see
없어.
that Ishmael's having issues here.
피어나라.
She doesn't have enough bullets to get through the fight.
깨달았나?
Yeah, Tree-Sang has really good numbers. Did she just use rip space? Motherfucker. It was like kind of glitching out, I saw. Fucking damn it. It's not, I love how not only do you get punished for not having enough charge, like you get a 10% health loss or whatever, but also you just like don't get any benefits either. It's like a really weak move. So you just get double negative. You don't get to use the move in full and you get punished.
피어나라.
약점 파악완료.
You're not gonna finish this event on stream? Am I not like only halfway through? I'm like halfway through, aren't I?
표적 확인. 맞는 거야. 맞는 거야.
다시 못 살게 구는 게 없을 것이오.
Like 40ish? Yeah. I thought I was gonna finish it all today, but that was dumb of me to think that. She's gonna rip space again. Oh, she has enough though this time.
교전 시작합니다.
Are you saying having two gimmicks is funny? I just always used him because of the multi-hits, and he's got high clash. Either he's an AOE monster if you get enough self-tremor, but also a boss nuker in a full sinking team. I don't really run any debuff teams. They just never seem to... I don't think I have the right units. In Mirror Dungeon, my charge team seems pretty decent.
다음은 어디요?
She's gonna rip my space.
무지하니까. 맞는
Gosh, she does so much fucking damage. It's insane.
맞는 거야. 지금이 기회인 것 같소.
Oh, I thought she was gonna do rip space. Wait, is it just a battle? Oh, okay. Manager Esquire, halt! Kalisanari! Behind this poor fellow, he still lives! Oh, behold this poor fellow. Don Quixote, her round eyes wide open, began sprinting somewhere. Don. No, stay away from me, you monsters! Hey man, we're not those monsters. You alright? Whoa. No, I'd like to look at Dawn a little longer. That arm. You're starting to mutate too, aren't you? You must be turning into one of those bug-like monsters. No, this is just a bad day. Gregor stumbled for words before chuckling and casting his gaze toward the floor in disbelief. Yeah, well, no surprise there, I guess. I suppose there's no way to tell right away whether this arm's a monster, a prosthetic, or whatnot. The train freaking out each time it happens is so funny. Bet W Corp is pissed as fuck. Ripping space while inside a train hurtling through an unknown dimension is probably a bad idea. It is possible that you are mistaken due to his bioprosthetic of being an older, outdated make that is now rarely seen in the city. More dawn. A prosthetic. That's a relief. I thought those crazy bastards were trying to break in again. As you can see, my legs are messed up. I had no choice to hide but to hide in here. Why are they on the train? Don't they come... Aren't they only on the train, like, in the very end? Like, later? Oh, I guess they have to come in before the train ends. The train ride ends, or it's not going to be 10 seconds. But... Why are they currently... Oh, that'll be explained in the next dialogue? Oh, okay. So what are the W Corp employees doing aboard this train? Huh, you're right. From what we found in the warp trains, through the identities, I can't imagine why any of them would willingly board this train. You're the contract fixers, right? We were ordered to assist you with your contract. I said we, but I'm the only one left. My name is W Corp Cleanup Agent. I'm very important, and I have a real family, and I am definitely not a side character that will be killed very soon. Every single one of my colleagues suddenly began losing their minds in that car over there, and... This cannot be! Faust! Is there truly no way to cure the blood bags? My apologies. The access to that information is prohibited at this moment as well. Though her voice and expression were both as serene as always, there was something gloomy about the way she said it. I may have been too reliant on Faust in too many places. Faust muttered in a barely audible volume. I don't know what I can do to help the sinners in a situation like this either. I had also grown too used to Faust's omniscience because I could always trust it to be there for me. I was starting to realize that I don't have the means to dig myself out of a hole like this. No, maybe I was too reliant on the sinners as a whole. If, when the time comes for them to depend on me, when they can no longer stand on their own, can I really manage them? Lead them to the right answers? Doubt, colored with fear, begins to rise like an ominous plume of smoke. Well, what can I do, right? The agent struggled to some corner of the room with his wounded leg and pulled a lever. They made a good use of this space, and the wall behind what had initially appeared to be a folding chair for the employees spun open. Oh, what in the name of wings is this? She keeps saying that. It sounds weird coming from her. Perchance thou hast hidden here a weapon most powerful? A weapon most feared by the blood fiends? No, I got some colas, some chips. I know we, like, don't get hungry, but, like... That holds some resemblance to a capsule we saw in the first-class car, but why would that thing be here? The cleanup agent slumped into the pod that appeared in the wall. Phew, finally. What is it thou seekest to do? I see. W Corp prepared a small hibernation pod for employees in case of emergencies. Verily then, huh? He's like, see ya, fuckwads! And it just closes. And he's like frozen like this. Well, exposition is done. Bye. Well, the only god we got is the wings. Yeah, I know, but it's just the phrase sounds strange from her. Good luck with the rest of the mission. He really is just piecing out. Smartest side character so far. Yeah, he actually survived. With that, he settled into the capsule and shut the hatch behind him. Wait, did he help at all? Like, he didn't help at all. Like, at all. Like, at all. He's like, I'm here to help you guys. And he just said, that's like all he said. And he's like, my friends are dead. And then he went in there. Nah, his leg was fucked. I know, but also he had no hope. No, nothing. He gave us nothing. When the door covering the pod closed, only the folding chair and a wall covered with viscera, viscera, forgot how to say that, remained. Dumped some exposition and pieced out. Realistically, he was helping since he helped fight some blood fiends, but he wasn't meant to be killing blood fiends in the first place. True, I guess. You know, with how strong W Corp IDs are, you'd think the real deal would last much longer than 3 days. I don't know. I don't think you can base the identities. I don't think the identities are good. They're not a good representation of what things are like. Because Dante can bring them all back. But maybe the Ruina guys, yeah. He's gone. There we go. He has departed the scene. We blankly stared at the wall the agent disappeared into. Well then, I guess we gotta... Let's move on to the next car. Keep on keeping on. As the sinners get stronger, they'll be closer to the real deals. Yeah.
이 순간을
Oh! Yeah, it looks like I'm like more than halfway done. Sorry for all the library folks that I just sprung this upon. But now we're almost done, so we gotta do it next time. So I think I'm not gonna... Oh, right. I don't think I'm gonna be streaming next Thursday, unfortunately. I have an obligation. I may or may not, but I'm pretty sure I will not. So sad. And then my month, September is gonna be a really busy month for me, so I might like not be able to be in some streams. They'll be randomly spread out. You got $21 to gacha with. What about streaming tomorrow? Yes, I will be streaming tomorrow. Dragon's Dogma tomorrow. And on Monday, I will be streaming the trumpet run of Dark Souls. Which I know I'm going to be doing some grinding and getting better at the controls. And hopefully I'll be able to configure the controls better. And we'll see what happens. Oh shit. That's right. I actually... I don't have much time. When does this event end? Wait, hold on. That's not next week, is it? No. I might stream on a different day to make sure I get this done. Forgot about that. I guess we'll see what happens. That's right. Thanks for telling me that. I didn't even think about that. Do I get... Oh! I have enough for this now? It's the only thing I really want.
Yeah. 시간 한번 더럽게 잘.
Today's slow as shite, isn't it? Bonus. Bonus. Oh, I guess I'm gonna... Does this guy get more points? Yeah! Now he's in it. Nice.
뭐야? 이 자식.
Hey, this one's
파란 꿈은 몇 개
dead?
챙겼다가 벌써
Really? Did you
자체적으로
seriously
가버렸는데?
kick the bucket from getting a few holes in the torso? You'll like that, Cliff? Is he good? Heathcliff. Heathcliff! It is one peaceful afternoon. The child slowly turns his head to the side at the voice calling his name. He's been staring blankly at the ceiling for a while. Heathcliff, come on! You planning to zone out for the rest of the day too? It's lunch already. It's only lunch? Bloody hell, mate. What a slow day. The office fills with amused laughter as the child begins pulling his hair with all 4 of his hands. Maybe the laughter made the child feel a bit self-conscious. He quickly attempted to change the subject. So what is it? Why'd you call me? We're going out for lunch at Ham Ham Pang Pang just round the corner. You coming with? Nah, I ain't going. Enjoy your lunches, lads. Oh, really? I thought you loved fish and chips. Their new seasonal menu. Fucking damn it. For those of you who don't know, this is the game company's like restaurant. I've seen you go for that lunch for a while. I ain't hungry. Oh, don't tell me. Did you replace your digestive tract with a prosthetic too? Ugh, I can never bring myself to do that. Boy, that ain't it either, yeah? He raises his voice in a burst of frustration before dousing it with a heavy sigh. I have a lot on my mind today, that's all. Well, give us a call if you change your mind. I don't mind picking one up to go for you. The co-workers left the building, leaving the child all on his own. With no one left inside the building other than the child himself, the room was completely silent save for the sound of ticking clock hands. No noise of tapping on typewriters, calculators, or even pens scratching against the paper. Now, ain't that a bother? Maybe I should have gotten my eardrums intact. Maybe I should have left my eardrums intact. He absent-mindedly rubbed his ears, which have recently been replaced with a prosthetic. Then he went back to staring blankly at the ceiling. Child's been having funny thoughts as of late. They ain't there anymore. The fun of battle is just gone. Oh, he's spinning a pen there. Violence was an old friend of the child ever since his Backstreet days, but it never felt this dull. A good singular strike used to make him laugh with exhilaration. Facing down a powerful enemy used to make his competition spirit burn brightly, even as he grumbled. Of course, when he cooled from the heat of the battle, he'd go back to his usual self, thinking things that an average person might think. Not wanting to go so far as killing to kill someone, for example, or maybe that he might have gone a punch too far. But he's been getting less and less of these thoughts as of late. The same was true for the day he participated in the contract expedition. You crazy son of a... You almost lost your arm just there. Yeah, whatever, mate. I'll just replace it if that happens. Boss lady's got dozens of backup arms at the ready. You must have lost your mind. The child was, as per the terms of the contract, battling a syndicate of the backstreets. Some among them were using prosthetics as well, but most of them installed at workshops as of dodgy quality. There weren't many of them anyway. Most syndicate henchmen reacted with horror when they faced this child. Attacks from the other fixers would back away from, the kind of sweeping attacks that would help make room for them to momentarily regroup. You daft, keep stabbing at my arm and you won't ever hit my circuitry where it matters. None of them even fazed the child. Instead, he took the hit and continued to advance slower toward his enemies. A destroyed arm, a punctured shoulder, none of that was critical. He could simply replace them within 5 minutes. The child, a fixer with prosthetics, did not care no matter how much damage he took as long as he had enough cash. Battle was easy, of course, but the child was bored. Even after a grueling battle, all he could think was, oh, we won. Even as he stabbed his enemies forcefully with his spear, all he could think of was, oh, there he goes. The fact that none of the violence inspired anything other than the simplest, most surface-level observations was mind-numbingly boring to him. Oh, we're back here. Still zoned out, Heathcliff? The child snapped out of his dry reminiscence of the expedition when his co-worker called over to him. The child was about to thank his co-worker for so kindly bringing him a sandwich, but he looked down, noticing his co-worker wildly swinging all 4 of his arms while pointing at the table. He had spilled his coffee all over the table, drenching the report he had spent the morning writing. Did I spill that? Who else, man? How should I know? I don't feel heat. Okay, but isn't that report due today? Are you gonna be okay with losing your entire morning's work? Kraken. More things to waste my afternoon time on. But the child's face was contorted in a frown. Seeing that the coworker quickly pushed the child away from the desk, swiftly cleaned up the surviving documents, removed the cup, and wiped down the table. All that task was rather quickly and competently done. Okay. Once all 4 arms of the coworker got to work, and only when the table was squeaky clean did he return to his seat. The child watched all of it in a flabbergasted silence, let out a hollow chuckle, and leaned back in his chair. Maybe I should quit. An utterance full of emptiness. He's been spending his days sitting in his office, save for the days he'd go out to work on a contract. He'd only planned to work here for a little time before quitting, but he's been unable to bring himself to the last part of this plan. Where else would I work or go? What a bother. The multi-crack office, which was comprised of only of fixers with prosthetics, was a comfortable place for the child. Spilling hot coffee at someone was no big deal here. He could also hold conversations without replacing his arms and legs. Without making things awkward. Maybe it was the sense of camaraderie within this group that made him feel awkward every time he left the premises of the building. Grabbing piping hot items without hesitation, walking for hours upon hours without ever getting tired. It was those little things, those minor details that have been making the child feel a sense of alienation ever since he replaced most of the body with prosthetic parts. Well, I suppose I ain't going anywhere without my family. Wonder if we'll pick up any interesting contracts today. Waiting and waiting for a small pebble to make the tiniest ripple in his tedious, uneventful life, the child looked back up at the ever-so-familiar ceiling. Days rolling, clicking like cogs in a machine. The child was merely growing used to that kind of life, the life in the city. Holy fuck, that was long! That was so long! That is like the longest one I've read! Damn! Let me look quick. Coin power +1? Consume 2. 2 times 10 minus current charge. Oh, I see. So it's don't use that. Oh. I don't really get it, but it looks like better numbers than Faust. Multi-crack seems like a chill fixer office to work for. What I love about Ham Ham Pang Pang is that in universe it's like a sandwich shop or something, whereas IRL it's a themed cafe. The main gimmick is essentially use S3 and S1 to gain charge count, use S2 to gain charge potency. And charge potency boosts the power of S3. Alright. Well, with that, I'll see you guys all later. I'm happy for the more dawn. But yeah, Monday will be Trumpet Run. I don't think I'm streaming Thursday. If I am streaming Thursday, I'll announce it in Discord. Tomorrow I'm streaming Dragon's Dogma, and that'll be good. Where's the $21 of rolls? I did 2 rolls, and that's about equal to that, I think, after you take out the 30% from YouTube. Bye! Have a good night.